Good morning and welcome. Thank you for joining me here today. If you found yourself here, there may be a message for your healing journey, soul's evolution, transformation, or simply information. Today, I'd like to kind of talk about recovery of narcissistic abuse. And if you are the victim of somebody who was a narcissist in your life, sometimes as children we have no idea if they're karmic or what kind of situation you have because you're obviously ill-informed and you probably never heard of such a thing. But being a victim of a narcissistic relationship, whether it be intimate partner, family members, parents, friends, may be leaving you confused, understood, or misunderstood, and uncertain. But it's important to remember that your experience is real and that your feelings, including those related to the relationship, are valid. Sometimes take a journal and, write the daily log of what happened. It'll help you timeline back once you relieve yourself from this situation, because that's also imperative to find your healing. You can unpack everything and unfold everything, and then, if you're working with a professional, whether it be a therapist or a holistic healer, or even the, in general, you might need an order of protection if they have narcissistic rage or multiple personalities or addictions. You will definitely need an order in place and go for an order of protection because it's protecting you, because we also know that they always harass you, stalk you, and do unjust things. That sometimes the justice system doesn't even validate you. So you need to have a support system where people know about these things, such as a narcissistic group or a therapist or somebody that actually is well versed so that they can understand. But this is not to take place and just keep you in victim mode. It is important that you move yourself from that. Healing is simply healing from trauma. And narcissistic trauma is probably the worst. You can break bones or have words said to you, and that's an internal job. It's maybe a mind trip. And they use all aspects to traumatize you, torture you, all with their evil ways. And this is hard to fathom or hard to bring in front of a justice system unless you have somebody advocating for you and proof. Even though in my situation I had proof, but nobody bought into it because they use a lot of manipulation tactics, spell work, voodoo hoodoo witchcraft, and place that upon everybody. And maybe they have clout, and maybe they lawyered up. And so all these flying monkeys and everybody else might be going against you. But it's okay. Keep your facts straight and don't get anything twisted, because that's exactly what they capitalize on. And speaking of that, they can take any voice recording, email, and text and go ahead and make that on any platform, and they can distort it and make it look crazy. And I mean crazy. So they do stalk you, harass you on all fronts, and hide behind the scenes or pay for people to do it. So they can always use the loophole, just like the court system has many loopholes to get them out of any situation. But karma comes marching, and so does God, or whoever do you believe in. Karma, if you're on the up and up, will happen to everybody. Good karma is built here to learn lessons. Bad karma is also capitalized here, exasperated, when you are on the down. So if you're trying to hurt people in life, it does come back. Maybe you don't see it all this lifetime, but certainly next lifetime if you're privileged to be here. Or you might be held hostage in purgatory for a very, very, very long time. So that's also your choice. You made these choices, and you have to accept the consequences. Even if it's your last breath trying to harm somebody else, it will happen, trust me. So your circle of trust needs to be smaller so you can build yourself back up. Find the people, places, and things that you can trust to help you, literally help you along the way. And that's also important. Your circle needs to be people who understand you, learn from you, grow. We all do. Learn from each other, connect with peers meaningfully, and access community that understands your situation and has your back. They make sure you're in a safe and sacred space so you can be heard and understood and comfortable, and get advice. And if it resonates, good, but take it along the way. You'll need it, because if somebody else has gone through it, It's happened to them. And narcissistic abuse on all fronts, it does happen. So it can be shocking, but there's people that can help you along the way. So find your moments of happiness in every day, document and study things that you need to based on your own situation. And once that order is in place, you should feel a little bit better. There's lots of women's groups. If you end up in a battered women's shelter, there's lots of us that have donated to help you recover. Even paper and pens to journal. And if you have a phone, that's great. They have computers there. They have women to help you get back into the workforce, help you build a resume, donate, a suit, or, get your hair done so you look presentable, and help you with your interview skills. And these are all very important and fantastic for everybody to get back on track. Now, narcissistic abuse can happen to anybody. I'm a woman, so I'm talking about my experience as a woman, and it's important that you get back on track. Get back in life. Find things that matter. The simple things that matter. Taking a walk, but be safe. Make sure you have devices on you where you can call for help. There's lots of devices, whether you have it on your neck, you can blow a whistle, or you have mace, whatever you have. Just make sure that you are safe. Probably, I would always suggest, if you're dealing with a NARC who stalks you 24/7 and gang stalks with their flying monkeys and collaborated against you, I would suggest to move. Move somewhere safe in a different county. Hopefully that works, even though they still stalk you, harass you. And at work, make sure you notify your HR with all the documents. And they may be they're working against you too. But I tell you what, if they have the paperwork and they have security at your office and recording devices outside where you park, you should be able to bring that to the court system and help. Okay, so everybody that is in your wheelhouse or your circle of trust should understand you and help you. They take care of things with you, and they're not judging you for your experience. Okay, so it's important to find your healing first and feel safe and get back on your feet. And then when you do, they'll probably ask if you need the order extended. And if you can, I would say do so. Get it for the duration. If there's guns or knives involved or anything like that, get the 50 years if you can. Ask for it immediately. They do ask you. And if they've harmed animals or yourself, laid hands on you, make sure you're honest. But if you have been honest with the justice system and they don't take you seriously, the good old boys club that are bought and paid for, that's not a fun experience either, because nobody takes you seriously. And why would you wonder about that? Well, because you remember who you're dealing with. It's the narcissist that told everybody that, they twisted the story. And they were able to manipulate the court system. So have facts, be real, be authentic, and present it. And that should stick. And get it for the duration. Trust me, they don't go away. Even if they've moved on with lots of multiple partners, they never go away. They want to torture and traumatize you because they can't stand the fact that you are moving on with your life. And especially if you have somebody else in your life, I would suggest you protect them, be honest with them, and also your children, because they, nobody's exempt from their crazy train. And if you can get an order of protection to cover those people, the places your children live or work, that's important too, and you can. They'll ask you in the order who else you need to protect and why. So not just because they're minors, you need to protect them. So I hope this helps today, and just remember, one day at a time, accept the things you can, and the courage with great discernment to know the difference. And remember, self-care is sacred, not selfish. Take care of you. And so it is. Namaste.